By the time it comes out of the bowl, once the leaven and the salt have been added, the dough will already have significant strength, and the Autolyse really helps kickstart all of this.
If you go down the bread aisle, you see all these brands and all these choices: Sara Lee, Wonder Bread, Dave's Killer Bread, all just one company. The bread aisle is more of an illusion of choice. You're really buying from one big corporation.
If I grab it now, look at all of that. It's still breaking here, but the strength can't really be taken away now unless I overmix, which is hard to do. A lot of people are constantly worried about overmixing, and all of those people need to calm down because it's really hard to overmix.
Bread gets a bad reputation because we have changed it over time into something that is different from what it was historically.
We also make whole grain sourdough croissants. The flour blend that we're using in these is a blend of Arizona heritage grains, including white Sonora, which has been grown here since the Spanish introduced it to the natives hundreds of years ago in this region. By using heritage grains, we're part of a solution where we're not robbing the earth of nutrients in the wheat that we're putting in our bread.
Wheat itself has all of these sort of anti-nutrients in it. Phytates, lectins, gluten itself is tough and hard for our bodies to digest. When it comes to bread production at an industrial level, there just simply isn't the time in order for the wheat to ferment out and neutralize all of those sort of anti-nutrients. And that's the reality of industrial bread, is you can go start to finish in rapid speed. When we changed the fermentation to sourdough, we changed from a 2-hour process to something that actually takes more than a day.
Sourdough bread that's been long fermented is lower on the glycemic index. It's just generally easier for our bodies to take in. So a lot of people that have trouble with bread, where when they eat bread they feel bloated, they don't feel all that well, those same people can eat sourdough bread often with no consequence. And so we get this as just a regular thing amongst our customers. They discover our bread at a farmer's market and just experience so much joy that they can eat bread again.
The mixture of flour and water over time creates that fermentation effect. So if you put flour and water in the right temperature, and you will eventually get a sourdough starter. If you keep feeding it and making it more robust over time, you're going to end up getting this colony of microorganisms that have the ability to leaven dough on the fly for you every single day. Our sourdough starter's name is Harriet, and she's based here in Mesa, Arizona.
She was in the refrigerator cooling down so as to preserve this sort of peak level of fermentation. When she was fed, the level that she was at was where this tape line is, and so this is growth that happened overnight. Meanwhile, what's really happening, it's not about the volumetric rise so much as it's about the cell populations of the lactobacillus and the wild yeast multiplying. As the sourdough starter rises and becomes more bubbly, as the smell is right, and you can just, working with it daily, know that it's the right time for it to go in the bowl, we try to trap it at that level by cooling it down as it's hitting that level.
This is sort of an investment in a pet. That's why Harriet has a name.
There is a fair amount to know about managing a sourdough starter. You have to know when to feed it.